Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. My name is Nate, and this is Peach Domino Papercraft. Y'all may be wondering, where does that go when it leaves my hands? And the answer is, oops, just off camera in this mess over here. But let's don't focus on that. Let's focus on this. Today is going to be our last official day working with the Pedalmore kit, but we will still be working with it throughout the Purple Gothic journal. But today we're going to finish working with these pages. I'm going to leave the rest like this so that they can be pasted in wherever the recipient wants, and they can add to it if they want to or not, and kind of leave that to their decision. So we're going to put this stack of them aside and put them in the kit. And by kit, I mean, the kit that's going with the scrapbook or journal, or, the book that's going out to the people, because I can't talk this morning. So these two is what we're working with today, and we are going to make windowed pages. What is a windowed page? Well, in this one, what we're going to do is we're going to cut with an X-Acto knife, which I forgot to get out, with a craft knife. We're going to cut a space, and there will be a hole in this page, but I'm going to line this up so that when you put this page on, and I'm going to have it where you can flip this page over, but when you put this page on, this will be what's in that hole. And I'm gonna, maybe I'm probably gonna leave it like that, but that'll be what's in the hole. And then you can flip this page over and you'll have this hole here, and then we'll do something with the edges, and then you'll have this image on the next page, and then does that make sense? I'll show you the one later. But this one's going to be a little different. We're going to leave this line right here and this line right here. But we're going to cut all this up here, all this down here, and straight down the center. And then these are going to be two windows that just open up, and we'll put something behind them. Okay? So here's how we're going to get started with this. We're going to take our page. I'm going to grab my mat, and I'm going to grab my craft knife. I'm going to zoom y'all in so you can see a little better what I'm doing. And I'm going to start cutting. Now remember, we're leaving this line right here and this line right here. So I'm going to first take a ruler and line this right down the middle. See this line right here where it switches colors? We're going to line it up there. Okay, and we're going to go from right here, which is at the top of the window, all the way down, and come up from the bottom. We're going to check to see if that went through. Mostly it did. So we've got it started. I'm going to come from the back now. Line it up. And just make a pass. And you don't want to do this too hard, because you might cut it in ways you don't like. You see, I've got that started there. I'm just gonna line it up again. And go from the bottom, make a pass, just with the weight of the knife. Alright. Use that all the way. Yes. Okay. Now, I'm going to make this line at the bottom. Just go from here. I'm not going to go all the way across because I can't quite see where to go all the way across to from the way I'm doing it. And if I do it this way, I can't see it at all because of the angle I'm at. So I just put my knife down, line it up, push the ruler till it's lined up at the other side, and make another pass. Just do that a few times so I know I should have enough passes that it should go through. See? And then I line it up on this edge, lay it down, line my ruler up, and go the other way. And then check. Okay, so I've got this little line where it didn't quite line up. See this little... So we'll just... snap that like that. Pop it off of there. It'll be fine. Promise. Okay. Now I want to line up across here where we're going to leave them. That way when I come around, it doesn't go past that point. And, okay, so on the camera it may be hard to see. But you have your outer rim here, and you can see the bricks. And then you have your inner brickwork. And then you have a line where the window starts. And it's right here. And I'm just going to follow that line all the way around to the top. And then do it again. Follow that line all the way around to the top. And that should be that window fully cut. And we will fold it over and crease it so that it knows where it lives, and we can put it back there at will. And it may pop up a little bit, but that's okay. We can always crease it back that way, right? So we're going to do the same with the other side. We're going to go ahead and fold that over. Oops, I have to do it this way. Fold that over, go to our edge right here, and line that up. And then you have your outer, your inner brickwork, and then your inner line, which you can do one of two ways. You can do it this way, which is a little harder if you're right-handed, because you have to see where your blade is going. And then your hand gets all twisted up. And I'm sure I'm doing that the hardest way possible. But it is doable. Or you could have gone this way. Either way. Either way. And then you just fold that out. Crease it down. And place them back. And now you have your window in here. And we'll make a page to go underneath, don't worry. But first, I want to go ahead while I have my mat out and cut this one. Now this one, we're going to cut along here, along the stonework. So it's going to be a little more intricate. But then up here, at the top, I would like to make an arch, and I don't know that I have a circle big enough That might actually be big enough. Let me turn it around and see. This is just a 3D printed mini 5-gallon bucket. That actually works. So I'm going to go ahead. Y'all can't see that. Let me fix it here. So right here, we're at the edge of the stonework, which actually goes up to here, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go right here. At the edge of this stonework to the edge of this stonework. We're going to try to line it up a little bit better so that our arch is closer to being straight across. And I'm horrible at that, so it won't be. So we're just going to follow the curve of the bucket. Use whatever you have on hand to make a circle. Didn't cut all the way through, that's okay. I'm sorry I keep hitting the camera, I keep trying to put my head closer. But we have our general shape, so I'm just going to push the knife into the crevice, into the line we created, and just kind of carve along it until it comes loose. Because if I put that bucket back down, it will not line up again. I know the goblins of crafting well enough at this point to know that if I put that bucket back down, it will not ever line up again. Okay, so we've got our arch. Put that bucket back out of the way. And I'm going to tilt my page because it's easier for me. We're going to go right here where the side of the arch is. And just, you can either move your knife and get in and out of every single little bump and crack in the brickwork, which I am not going to do. I went too far. That's okay. You won't know when I'm done. Or you can just get a generalized shape, which is exactly what I'm doing. I'm just getting a generalized shape. Because it's going to look good either way. And around here, I'm sorry I'm not more talkative during this, but this, anytime I work with a knife, it requires of me quite a bit of concentration. I've been working with knives for a very long time, as I'm sure most of you all have too. And one thing I've learned for certain is if you don't concentrate, you will regret it. Go on. That's right up to the brickwork. And then I apologize if any of that last cutting bit was off camera. I'm trying very hard to keep it in frame. When you get to the end, you might have to do just a little bit of surgery here to make it line up correctly. Okay, we got it. Now we've got this hole, we've got this back, we've got this piece which fits seamlessly right back into that hole. Alright, let me zoom you back out. Maybe a little far. And let's put away the craft knife and the mat. And we'll get started on the decorating portion where we can have a little more conversation. So hi, how you doing? How you been? I think I'm going to use this purple for some. Might even use this purple for some. I got these at Daiso. And everything at Daiso is $2.25. unless it's marked otherwise. But they have so many things, and in sizes that we do not have. These are 14.2 by 10.1 inches, and it says colored construction paper, but it is nothing like our construction paper. You know, our construction paper is fibrous and falls apart relatively easy for actual just colored construction paper, you know. This is more, oops, of a super lightweight cardstock to me. It's heavier than printer paper, lighter than cardstock. You can see kind of the edge there. But it's not construction paper type at all to me, because that's not the construction paper I grew up with. And that's okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut some strips of about a 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to a whole inch. 1 inch strips. It doesn't have to be a whole lot because I'll show you what I'm doing. We're going to make a backing for this one page. We're at 16 minutes. We got plenty of time. I'm not using the whole sheet. I'm not going to use a whole bunch. So maybe half the sheet. I probably don't even need that many. But we're going to give ourselves a good abundance of them to kind of have some to play with. So that if anything goes wrong or I decide to change anything up, then we'll have that. And if I don't use them, I'll make some clusters next week. And I'm not going to stop there. I'm actually going to grab the backing sheets that I have, the decorative papers, and do a couple inches, maybe 3, off of that one. Maybe a couple off of this one. Okay, set that aside. I want a good variety here. This one's different. This one's different. Those are both the same. We'll set them aside. This one is the same, but this one's different. So get a couple of those. This is something I should have done beforehand, so y'all wouldn't have had to sit here and deal with that part. So I'm going to cut a whole bunch of strips off of these different backing papers, and we'll come right back. Okay, we're back. And we have our page, and we have a bunch of strips. We're going to set that aside so I don't lose it. Now what I'm going to do is get out one of my handy dandy glue pages. And we are going to collage. Use whatever glue is best for you. I've recently found out that a lot of people can't just use stick glue. And, you know, sometimes stick glue doesn't work for me either because humidity in the air. Sorry I keep hitting the camera. But today, I don't care about the humidity. I think it should be fine. Just remember, if you're going to put it over another piece, you need to be gluing that piece too. Let's get some purple in here. Even my glue is purple. I'm a purpler. Purpler! Okay, yeah, that was weird, but you get the point. Like it like that. Let's do it like this. It's a little more up. There we go. Grab this glob of purple here and smear it over there. And get this lacy bit. I'll just this lacy bit. And we're gonna glue it like this. And we'll do one more glue right here. Because what happens when the Drew glides? Told y'all I can't speak today. When the glue dries, we all know that all it's gonna do is leave a coating, a glossy coat on it, you know, and I'm okay with that for this particular project. I don't necessarily want to make it the most beautiful thing in the world. I just want it covered. Because I can always go back and decorate. We're just getting a background on so that we can decorate over that. Let's see what I haven't used yet. I don't use this. Let's use one of these. It's on the other side. I don't use that either, but it's okay. Color this that way. Take this one, and I'm going to go right here. Take this dragon one and go like this. Wait a minute. I had a little. There we go. Had a little piece of white I wanted to cover up. And we're going to take this one and go like that. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's a slow process. And be careful. See all this extra glue? Set that to the side. Because you will glue your project to the paper and then you will lose some of the prettiness on the front. And you don't want to lose the prettiness on the front. We like the prettiness on the front. We're fans of it. I did use that. I didn't use that. I used that. I used that. I didn't use this. Let's use this. Go right there. If I wanted to go all the way up there, yeah, why not? Okay. Use those. I use that. I didn't use this one. Let's take this one and go right here. And then take this piece here. Put my scissors up and then lost them. Take this piece and go right here. Okay. And we're going to pull this up. I'm going to go ahead and get another sheet of paper. And I don't mind using all these because these are all scrap in the first place. And then that way I don't glue it to itself. And it's okay if you want to cut these off first and use those scraps. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that with some of these. We'll just go through and trim at the page edges. We'll go through the middle in a little bit, but for right now. And this will also kind of shore up your page a little since we're going to be turning it. And it won't be glued down. It is cardstock, however, that doesn't mean that it won't accidentally fall apart on you if you play with it too much. So this does just help shore that up a little bit. Oh, I didn't even notice we had a whole strip right there. In some spots there is a lot of extra paper all at once, and those can be kind of hard to cut through. So be careful with that. Okay, and again, I only did the page edges. I didn't do the inside yet. Because I just wanted to show you you can take any scrap you want for this. And it will work out just fine. Okay, got that. Go ahead and do that because I'm going to have to put another strip right there anyway. Apparently I'm putting this strip right there. My glue picked it up and said this one. So there. Okay, and yes, I know I missed a little tiny piece right there, and that's okay. So, you can let this dry and we can do the middle, but first I'm going to go ahead and clip these edges again. Okay, and we'll let it dry and then we'll do the middle. In the meantime, let me clean up just a tiny bit. Get some of these smaller scraps out of the way, because we're done with those. Altogether, these can go in my scrap bin once they've dried. Who knows, they might, you know what? Yeah, no, I can't make up my mind whether I want to keep them or not. These will go off to the side. I think there's a ruler in there somewhere. There is a ruler in there somewhere. I can feel it. There it is. Alright, now, this page. This page right here. We have two options. We can stick it down to the black page and, you know, put something behind it, or we can see if gluing it down to one of these will give us a cool little window. Let's see. No. And if not, there are other options. Ooh. I like that. Let's set that aside. No. No. And no. So, this is the one I'm going to use. I like the way that looks. So, we have this here, and we're going to do this. But I'm going to glue it together and make it into a pocket. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my art glitter glue and a fresh sheet of paper. Pardon me. My goodness. We're going to take this. First, before I do that, I'm going to take some vintage photo. And ink up the backs of these. Kind of like that. And then I'm going to be a little bit extra and take my pen. Maybe. Why am I always losing my pen? Take my pen and I'm going to just freehand. Yes, think. I'm going to freehand a couple slats across this way. And a couple of curves this way. And then straight down. And this is just a normal everyday fountain pen. And we're just drawing on some slats. And we're going to kind of give it a wavy texture. Not everything has to be perfect. We're just kind of making it look a little more woodish. Just think about how wood looks and kind of fake that. Yeah, I know I've got some spots in here that are definitely wrong. But junk journal, not perfect journal. And it does make it look a little bit cartoonish, but not overly, I don't think. Maybe if I'd had a brown pen, it would have looked a little less conspicuous, maybe. And don't forget that your lines don't stop in the middle right here. So don't pick them right back up in the same spot. A lot of people make the mistake of they're drawing their line like this, but when there's something like this, they'll draw their line like this and pick it back up right here. Except that's not where it would connect. Your line would naturally go. See, that's how your line would look. So be aware of that. I have to wipe it a little because it is fountain pen ink. It doesn't dry automatically. It takes a little bit of time, but again, it doesn't take a lot of time and it doesn't have to be precise. It just gives it some character. And then for these, you don't want them to be up and down because they're a board, they'd be going this way. And they'd be the same board, roughly. But there is still a cut here, so give them just a little bit of off. Or maybe a knot hole in the middle or something. See? And now we have wooden shutters, which is stupid because we have windows here, but that's not the point. It looks better than it did before. That's the point. I wasn't thinking when I did it. I just did it. Maybe that's a lot of my problem is I don't think about it. I just do it. Close your windows. Get your glue. And you're gonna do this. No. No. We're doing a pocket. Just do 3 edges, not 4. Man, my brain don't always work. Okay. Go ahead and put the top back in my glue. Oops. And then we're going to take this and this, line them up, starting at the bottom. And just like that. Now you could have put a piece of acetate in your window if you wanted, so that it was an actual window and you couldn't accidentally slip things through the window. I didn't do that. I'm okay with it. You have a little bit of working time, but not an overly large amount. And I didn't get it perfectly lined up, but I got it pretty good. So it's close enough, and I like that. I'm going to leave this one like that. I'm going to take this one, and we're going to take our cutting mat back out and grab our cutting utensil. And my dog is trying to get in the door again. He's, he's scratching at my door. But that's okay. He can sit there and scratch at the door. He's not coming in right now. Okay, so we're going to carefully cut through this a couple of times. Try to keep it lined up so that it doesn't go through this other layer here. We're slowly getting there. It takes some time. It may take you 3 or 4 passes to get through. And you can see I'm bearing down on the knife because I'm getting tired of looking at it. Don't do that. Definitely only thin passes, and by thin I mean light. Like, it takes more time, but it will have less of a chance of ruining your project. Just like that. Lots of thin passes until you get the result you want. Okay, now we have this one. Just use the weight of the knife. Let me get this out of the way so I can see a little better. Just use the weight of the knife to carve out the piece. A lot of the time for me, it's right here at the very beginning is where it gets stuck. And I don't really know why. Okay. And then like that. Oh, I got a string. It's okay, because I gotta go back up here. I got that piece out of the way. And then that's a hard edge right there, so we go right up and then right across. Okay, and then up. And I tried to keep lighter colors so that it would be easier if I make a mistake and they show that they'd kind of blend in with the rock, you see. Didn't do that very well over here, but on this side I did much better at that. Mostly because I didn't think about it and this wasn't planned, but I wanted you to think it was. Haha. Okay, we have the big pieces. Let's do this little... Shaped ones are harder to do because you have to follow the shape. And who knows, maybe I should have covered the back first and then made the shape so I only had to cut it once. But I didn't do that. And that's okay. And now I'm messing up my arch. And that's okay too. Because I'm doing it consistently. Somehow. Pull that out of it. How did that happen? And back around to there. Whole little section right here. It's just begging to be cut. There it is. I got it. It happened. Okay, so in order to make this line up on a page, which again I said I was going to save all these, but I didn't. No. We're going to use this one. We're going to take it, set it on top of the page, take our piece. It doesn't quite fit in right now, but that's okay. We're going to glue our piece. Lots of glue. Okay, get it in the right spots. Put the paper back in the hole. just like so. And then take our page off, like so. Press that down. Now we've got to put this on. And what I want to do is make a hinge. And I'm going to do that using one of these. Which I'm just going to, you don't have to score it, you can just fold it. I like to score them because it makes it a little easier for me to get them folded properly. And we know these are an inch, right? So we're going to put it at a 1/2 inch to a 1/2 inch. And is this a side? Oh, let's do this. This is the side I want to show. So this is the side we're going to score. Right down the middle. Just like that. Okay. Put the scoreboard away. Put the cutting mat away. Pull the glue paper back out. And put the craft knife away. Always put the craft knife away first. Hold it. And I want it to be good and creased. So that's what we'll do. Okay. And we're going to take this page first. I'm going to do a little bit of redecorating, especially right here. I think right here I'm going to take and put some paper. Where'd that ruler go? Right here. Just rip that. And then go right here. Rip. Pull it down. To about there. Because I want it to be under the window. Go just a little bit up and we'll rip it off. It's not a whole lot, but it gives you a little bit of space. And we're going to add a little art glitter glue. And tuck it into place. And that gives you a little space to write. We'll do a little decorating here in a little bit. Say a lot. Sorry about that. I'm just going to do one line. Straight down the edge. That's why I wanted to put that paper on before we put this on. And we're going to line it up against the very edge of the paper. Turn my glue sheet around because it's already trying to squish out. Just going to line it straight up against the edge of the paper. Just like that. Take my bone folder, squish it down. Okay. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to put some glue on that. Right along that line. I'm going to take this and line this up with our picture instead of with the page. Because our picture is the importantest part. Okay, and we'll just press that down. Use our bone folder to make sure it gets good and squished. Check to make sure it still opens. Like that. Do a little clippy clippy. Never clip this edge. Got this extra bit right here, but don't clip that edge. Leave it. I'm telling myself that right now. Leave it. Now, I want something on this jumble. I like the jumble for a background, but I don't like the jumble as a finished piece. So I'm going to take this journal label, put some glue on it, and right there, I am going to take our bag of fussy cuts when I figure out where I put it. I'll stop losing this bag of fussy cuts, y'all. Lose it every time. I'm going to reach in, close my eyes, reach in, and just pull some stuff out. And this is what I've got to work with for this page. This is a little big to go anywhere. This is also a little big. I've got this flower, not the hat. That's a moon. Okay, so we'll put this flower on. I'm not going to ink it up. I'm just going to put it on as is. Because I feel like there's enough color on this page. A little bit of a white border will be fine. Give it a little offset, you know. And you don't want to put it in the crease. You see our crease is right here. You don't want to put it too close to that, or else your page won't close. You see? And that's where I'm going to leave that one. So we have window page number 1, where we cut out the picture and it's on the page behind. If you had maybe some little tiny people you could put there or something, you can put anything there. That tree from yesterday would have, or last week would have been a good choice. And we have window page number 2, which is also a secret pocket, although maybe not so secret. Anyway, it's also a secret pocket with fancy wooden windows that are painted to look like that on the inside. I don't know. It works. Alright, so don't forget, today is the 28th, and next week, not even a whole next Monday, I believe. Let me look real quick to be sure. Yes, Monday, the 1st of June. We will be starting June-tober. And then it'll be a video every day from me. I've already got them ready to go. But remember, only one day for me counts towards the YouTube hop. Okay? And it will have a different thumbnail on mine than all the rest of my videos have had. It'll have its own thumbnail that matches the YouTube hop. Okay? If you want to follow along with the YouTube hop, go to Lottie's Magic Attic or Emily Designs or Crafty Dragon Creations or Petals and Parchment, which you need to join all of their Facebook groups because they'll have freebies every day on their week. But they also have kits available. They're the 4 designers. But they will have all the details of how the YouTube hop is going to work. Each one, I'm not 100% sure each one's going to run their own contest during their week, but I think so. Don't hold me to that. I haven't asked them. I know Lottie's Magic Attic is going to hold her own contest. And I know that the YouTube Hop will have its own prizes if you find all the tokens. And the tokens will be done by a different person each day, a different collaborator each day. You can find the list of collaborators by going to Lottie's Magic Attic Facebook group. And make sure you do that. So I will see you guys on the 1st. So excited. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of those videos. Okay? See y'all next time. Bye.